Definitely when I heard it come out of her mouth, still shocked me. And
yeah, you could tell in the video.
I was like,
it was pretty.
Oh, she really just said that.
Taylor, how does it feel? How does it feel?
Okay, what in the celebrity multiverse is going on right now? Because today, pop culture just gave us not one, but two bombshells that are making my jaw physically hurt from hitting the floor. First off, Taylor Swift, America's sweetheart. The woman who can literally crash Ticketmaster with a smile. She just made a massive announcement, but here's the twist, it happened in the most unexpected place possible, on Travis Kelce's podcast. Yes, the same Travis Kelce who went from NFL star to the man every Swiftie now has on their Pinterest boards. And whatever she revealed. Let's just say it's the kind of thing that makes you pause your work meeting, grab your phone, and immediately text your group chat with, "Guys, drop what you're doing." Because this wasn't just a casual chat. This was a headline waiting to happen. But before your brain can even process what Taylor just dropped on us. Because trust me, we're gonna get into every single detail. Another story slid into my feed like it's trying to start a fight. And it's about Justin Bieber. The Biebs. The man whose every facial expression spawns 500 TikTok theories. And this time, he's got people side-eyeing hard, because during a conversation that somehow looped in Benny Blanco, Justin might have just poked the bear by bringing up, you guessed it, Selena Gomez. Yes, her. And no, this isn't one of those people are reaching moments. The way he said it, the timing, the subtle little grin. It's like every Yelena conspiracy theorist is now working overtime, sipping their iced coffee like it's the final season of a Netflix drama. Now, I know your brain is already trying to connect the dots, but here's where it gets wild. These two stories aren't even related, yet somehow, they're giving the exact same energy. That feeling like you just stumbled into the middle of a heated group chat and you're scrolling up, desperate to catch up on the tea. Because with Taylor's announcement, was it personal? Was it career-changing? Was it a subtle shade moment? And with Justin's little mention of Selena, was it innocent? Or was he deliberately poking the internet's most volatile fan base? And can we talk about the timing? Taylor drops this surprise during a cozy, candid convo with Travis. Like she's telling us a secret over coffee, while Justin is out here, casually stirring up memories from a love triangle the internet refuses to let go of. It's almost poetic. Like the pop culture gods decided we were bored and decided to spice things up. So here's how this is going to go. We're breaking down both of these moments, piece by piece, because there's so much going on behind the scenes that you're not seeing in the headlines. We're talking the exact wording Taylor used, the subtle pauses, the way Travis reacted in real time, because there is body language here that is screaming for analysis. And yes, we are also going full detective mode on Justin's comment, because Benny Blanco's reaction alone, I swear you could write a novel about it. But here's the thing. I'm not going to spoil everything right now. No. You need to see this for yourself. Because if you've ever thought, celebrity drama is overhyped, today's the day that theory dies. These are the moments that keep the internet alive. And by the time we're done, you're either going to be fully convinced that Taylor's announcement changes the entire 2025 pop culture landscape, or you're going to have a new folder in your brain labeled, Justin Bieber is playing with fire. Grab your snack. Lock your phone, actually no, unlock it, you're gonna need it for fact-checking. And let's get into what just might be the most chaotic double whammy of celebrity tea we've had all year. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It is free and help us bring you enjoyable content. And of course, watch till the end. It was one of those moments you could practically hear reverberating through the internet, the kind where group chats blow up, Twitter, or X, if we're pretending, practically catches fire. And even your aunt who doesn't follow celebrity news is suddenly texting, "Did you hear about Taylor and Travis?" Yes, that moment. Taylor Swift, queen of subtle hints and Easter eggs, decided subtlety was overrated this time and dropped a bombshell of an announcement that left fans gasping. On stage, mid-performance, her voice dipped just enough for the words to feel personal, and she said something that sent Swifties and NFL fans alike into collective meltdown mode. The headline everywhere? Taylor Swift has just confirmed she and Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce are officially taking their relationship to the next level, and no, she didn't elaborate, which of course only made the frenzy 10 times worse. Next level could mean anything. Engagement? Moving in together? A joint Super Bowl halftime show where they duet? The possibilities are endless, and the speculation hasn't stopped since. This wasn't your average celebrity couple announcement either. It was classic Taylor, theatrical enough to be unforgettable, cryptic enough to be endlessly analyzed. You could almost hear the fandom crack open their notebooks, ready to connect dots from past lyrics, interviews, and paparazzi shots. Because if there's one thing we've learned about Taylor Swift over the years, it's that she rarely says anything without meaning so much more than it appears on the surface. But to understand why this reveal hit so hard, why it had fans screaming, "I knew it," and "oh my god, it's happening," in equal measure, we have to rewind. Let's go back to the first whispers of Taylor and Travis being in the same orbit, because their story is equal parts rom-com, sports highlight reel, and, of course, a masterclass in public intrigue. It all began in that way most celebrity rumors do, with a blink-and-you'll-miss-it moment that the internet, naturally, did not miss. It was the summer. Travis was riding high on yet another stellar NFL season, and Taylor was midway through the Eras tour, shattering records and selling out stadiums faster than most artists can post to TikTok. Somewhere in between touchdowns and sold-out shows, a spark was struck. Or, at least, that's what the rumor mill decided, and honestly, the clues were pretty compelling. A sly mention of Travis in a podcast here, a fan-shot video of Taylor glancing in his direction at an event there. And then came the moment that set everything into motion. Travis Kelce admitting, publicly, that he had tried and failed to give Taylor Swift a friendship bracelet with his number on it. Cue the collective gasp heard round the world. That tiny anecdote became the pebble that started an avalanche. Fans ate it up, debating whether it was a cute one-off or the start of something. But then, as if fate, or perhaps a very intentional PR strategy, stepped in, the sightings began. At first, it was subtle, a dinner in New York where they just happened to be at the same restaurant, a mutual friend's birthday party where they were spotted laughing together. And then, the football game. Oh, the football game. Taylor, in the stands at Arrowhead Stadium, rocking Chiefs colors and cheering like she'd been a die-hard fan her whole life, instantly became one of the most replayed, retweeted, and analyzed moments in sports pop culture history. Cameras caught every smile, every cheer, every subtle glance toward the field when Travis made a play. If you weren't a football fan before, you suddenly knew what a tight end was, and not just because of the position's name. From that moment on, it was clear this wasn't just a fling. When a couple trades the flashbulbs of Manhattan for the anonymity of a Montana ski lodge, something's shifting. And if the Montana getaway wasn't enough proof, the quieter months that followed sealed the deal. They were spotted slipping into restaurants in New York through back entrances, blending into ski crowds in Park City, and generally doing the one thing celebrity couples rarely manage, staying out of the spotlight without fueling breakup rumors. Instead, it made them seem stronger, like whatever was happening between them was too good, too important, to share with the world just yet. And that's exactly why Taylor's recent Next Level announcement landed like it did. Because we'd all been waiting. Waiting through the quiet months, waiting through the cryptic social media posts, waiting for a hint, a confirmation, a breadcrumb. She didn't just confirm they were still together, she made it clear they were moving forward. And because she's Taylor, she gave us just enough to keep guessing. Will the next chapter include matching tour jerseys? A duet in her next album? Or, dare we say, wedding bells? Whatever it is, one thing's certain. The Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce story isn't just the celebrity romance of the moment, it's a saga, unfolding in real time, with every twist and turn sending fans into joyful chaos. And Taylor? She started showing up in his world in ways that felt equally intentional. Sure, we all remember her cheering in the luxury box during Chiefs games, but in this new chapter, she wasn't just a guest, she was part of the inner circle. She got to know his teammates, laughed with their families, and even found herself chatting with NFL commentators like it was second nature. That crossover, the blending of their worlds, is where the next level comment starts to make sense. This wasn't just two famous people hanging out. This was integration. This was, we're figuring out how to make our lives work together, which, if you ask anyone who's ever tried to date with two busy careers, is no small thing. But what makes this story even more irresistible is the way they've kept it layered. For every moment they've given the public a red carpet glance here, a cozy dinner there. There's been another moment happening just out of sight, hinted at but never fully confirmed. Take, for example, the night in late January when they were both spotted separately at the same upscale New York hotel. No photos of them together, no confirmation from their reps, just enough overlap to make it impossible to dismiss as coincidence. Or the fact that during one of her era's tour stops, Taylor performed a mashup of two songs that, when placed together, read like a love letter to someone who's been supportive from the sidelines. Fans, of course, have been connecting the dots with the kind of dedication usually reserved for FBI casework. Reddit threads, TikTok breakdowns, Twitter timelines. All meticulously charting every known interaction, every lyric that could possibly be about Travis, every moment their schedules aligned. Some theories are wild. One fan was convinced Travis was secretly providing backing vocals during a sound check, while others have proven eerily accurate. Another fan predicted months ago that they'd spend a significant stretch of time in a secluded winter location. Hello, Montana. This level of investment from fans doesn't happen unless there's something genuinely compelling at the core, and Taylor and Travis have provided just enough truth among the speculation to keep everyone hooked. Of course, not everyone was sold at first. Celebrity sports crossovers can be tricky. There's always that initial skepticism. Is this just for publicity? A cross-promotional stunt between the NFL and the music industry? But here's the thing. Both Taylor and Travis have plenty of fame without the other. Neither of them needs the boost. If anything, the relationship has brought more scrutiny than either might have wanted, but instead of shying away, they've navigated it with a surprising amount of grace. Travis, with his easy charm and quick humor, has managed to handle the intense media attention without turning it into a spectacle. Taylor, with her deep understanding of public perception, has allowed herself moments of visible joy without letting the press dictate the pace. The first time Travis Kelce ever publicly acknowledged Taylor Swift, it was in a way only Travis could casually, with a grin, and just enough charm to make it a headline. That friendship bracelet moment, where he admitted he tried to pass along his number at one of her shows, instantly made him relatable. It wasn't a slick Hollywood maneuver. It wasn't even particularly smooth. But it was honest, and that honesty set the tone for everything that followed. In the months since, what's unfolded hasn't felt like a carefully staged PR romance. It's felt like two people, both operating at the absolute top of their respective games, figuring out how to carve out space for each other in a life that's anything but ordinary. By September, the first real hints of something brewing started to hit the tabloids in earnest. Reports of sources close to the couple began trickling in, each one offering just enough detail to keep the story alive. One claimed they'd been texting for weeks. Another insisted they'd already had multiple private dinners. Then came the first big public outing, Taylor stepping into a VIP suite at Arrowhead Stadium, wearing a Chiefs jacket and cheering like she'd been doing it for years. The moment the camera caught her laughing alongside Travis's mom, the internet exploded. It was the kind of image that says more than 1,000 insider quotes ever could. Meeting the family isn't a small step, especially when the meeting happens in front of millions of viewers. This was the pivot point. In the age of overexposure, where celebrity couples often document every brunch and beach trip, Taylor and Travis went quiet. That silence could have sparked breakup rumors, but instead, it had the opposite effect. Fans and media began digging deeper, piecing together clues from flight trackers, obscure social media sightings, and the occasional grainy photo snapped by someone in a small-town coffee shop. And then came the Montana getaway. Lone Mountain Ranch, with its snow-covered cabins, hidden dining rooms, and complete phone ban, became the setting for what many believe was a reset, a chance for them to be together without the noise. It was here, away from the spotlight, that their relationship seemed to shift from high-profile fling to something more grounded. By the time Taylor stood on that stage and dropped the next level line, months of quiet groundwork had already been laid. This wasn't a heat-of-the-moment announcement. It was the kind of reveal that comes after you've had the hard conversations, after you've tested what it's like to blend two very different lives. And it was the kind of announcement that invited speculation without giving away the whole story, a signature Taylor Swift move if there ever was one. What makes this romance so captivating isn't just the star power. It's the contrast. Travis comes from the world of sports, where schedules are rigid, teamwork is essential, and the spotlight is bright but fleeting. Taylor comes from the world of music, where creativity reigns, control over your image is hard-won, and reinvention is part of survival. In another life, their paths might never have crossed. But here they are, a tight end from Ohio and a songwriter from Pennsylvania, finding common ground in the chaos of fame. And somehow it works. The past few weeks have only intensified the curiosity. Travis has been spotted slipping into venues near Taylor's tour stops. Taylor has been seen wearing what fans swear is one of his hoodies. A lyric change during a recent concert, where she swapped a word in a love song for a playful football reference, sent the crowd into a frenzy. And though they've both kept interviews vague, their smiles whenever the other's name comes up speak volumes. It's that balance of public and private that makes people believe this might be more than a passing headline. What's clear is that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have managed to capture something rare in the celebrity landscape, a story that's as much about connection as it is about spectacle. Whether they're laughing in a luxury box or disappearing into the Montana snow, they've made people root for them. And in the end, that might be their biggest win yet. Because in a world where everything is content, they've reminded us that some things are still worth keeping just for yourself. Until you're ready to share them. And so, as the world waits for the next chapter, the next public sighting, the next cryptic lyric, the next sideline smile, there's a sense that whatever comes next will be worth the wait. Taylor and Travis aren't just playing the game, they're rewriting it. And maybe that's why, when she said next level, it felt less like a tease and more like a promise. If you've been following every twist and turn of this story, you know it's about more than gossip. It's about watching two people navigate fame, love, and the space in between. It's about the joy of seeing unexpected worlds collide and actually work. And it's about the thrill of not knowing what's coming next, but feeling certain it's going to be something big. So keep your eyes open, keep your theories ready, and maybe keep a friendship bracelet or two on hand. Because with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, the only thing you can expect is that they'll keep surprising us. And we'll keep loving every second of it. In another news,
I want her to be awesome, but there's things that remind me of her, and yeah, it's my first real love.
It starts with a whisper, then a post, then a lyric that feels like it was carved straight from the inside of someone's heart. And before you know it, the internet is in flames. That's exactly where we are right now with Justin Bieber, who seems to be operating on a say less, mean more wavelength, flooding his feed with cryptic captions, moody melodies, and strangely timed photos. It's the kind of digital breadcrumb trail that makes fans, stans, and casual onlookers squint at their phones and say, "Hold up, is this about Selena Gomez?" The man who once sang, "I'll show you," is now showing us something entirely different, a side that's either painfully nostalgic or brilliantly calculated. And the drama doesn't stop with her name alone, because somewhere in this love triangle-shaped fog hovers Benny Blanco, Hailey Bieber, and a few million very invested followers. What's driving all this? Is it unresolved love, music marketing genius, or the sound of a heart that's never quite healed? For anyone who's not already a card-carrying member of the Selena History Club, here's the 30-second refresher. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez's on-again, off-again romance spanned almost a decade, dominating tabloid headlines, Instagram stories, and fan Twitter threads like no other pop culture pairing in recent memory. They had the kind of chemistry you can't stage, the kind of fights you can't fake, and the kind of breakup that leaves a permanent scar on the internet. When Justin eventually married Hailey Baldwin in 2018, it seemed like he'd closed that chapter for good. Public declarations of love, wedding photos, and a very intentional distance from all things Selena made it look like the book had been shelved. But now, years later, it's as if someone has flipped open those pages again, and the ink is smudging into the present. It started with a track oozing regret and longing, followed by a lyric so sharp it cut right into the fanbase. I can't love you because I don't like the man I am. Ouch, doesn't even cover it. And while he paired it with images of Hailey, the emotional tone told another story entirely. The music drops came in waves. First, a song that felt like it was calling out into the void for a love that was both lost and untouchable. Then, Never Get Lonesome, a haunting piece about aching for someone far away. If you're a fan with a magnifying glass, that's the kind of song title that doesn't just raise eyebrows, it sends them straight into orbit. The kicker? Just days before, Selena posted a cozy picture of herself with a cat curled up in her lap. 2 days later, Justin steps out in a hoodie and beanie covered in cartoon cats. Coincidence? Sure, if you believe in those. But in the language of pop culture detective work, that's practically a flashing neon arrow. And then came the post that tied threads together in a way even casual observers couldn't ignore. Justin captioning a shot with "Io Eddie," a twist on the trending "Io Benny" meme where fans were basically volunteering themselves as better partners for Selena than her current beau, Benny Blanco. Whether it was shade, satire, or just suspiciously timed humor, the overlap was impossible to miss. To understand the "Io Eddie" moment, you need to know the climate of Selena's fanbase lately. Since confirming her relationship with Benny Blanco, she's been hit with both fierce support and equally fierce criticism online. The "Io Benny" trend was a cheeky, slightly chaotic way of expressing the belief that they could treat her better, playful, yes, but undeniably rooted in people's lingering attachment to her past relationships. So when Justin, of all people, taps into that language and attaches it to a song about cherishing a woman in ways her ex never did, the digital world basically short-circuits. Add to that the eerie mirroring between two song titles, "Call Me When You Break Up" and "Way It Is," and you've got a conspiracy wall's worth of string connecting one post to another. One sounds like it's begging to come back, the other sounds like it's waiting for the opportunity. Neither sounds like it's fully moved on. Then came the real twist in this unfolding Instagram novella, Justin posting a moody snippet of "Wish I Had Not Said That" by JJ Cale. It's a vintage heartbreak anthem dripping with regret, longing, and that bittersweet, if only energy that has fueled love stories and late-night playlists for decades. But the part Justin chose? Far too specific to be innocent. If I could only close you out of my mind. It don't matter what you're into. If I could taste you once again, feel the pain and the pleasure. We could make it to the end. Wish I had not said that, baby. If I could only close you out of my mind. That's not just a song lyric, that's a confession wearing a disguise. And with zero caption to explain it, the fans did what they always do. They connected the dots, through their own maps, and threw the theories into the wild. The question wasn't just who is he talking to? It was why now? And if this was just about music, why choose something so achingly personal? It's a strange feeling watching a celebrity's Instagram feed start to feel like a coded diary entry. One day, it's just the usual mix of selfies, behind-the-scenes peeks, and the occasional brand partnership, and the next, it's practically a soap opera unfolding in real time. That's exactly where Justin Bieber has us right now. Not just posting content, but dropping emotional breadcrumbs that feel deliberately placed for those paying close attention. It's the kind of modern-day mystery where music and personal life blur so tightly together that you can't tell if you're witnessing heartbreak, marketing brilliance, or both. And the biggest question swirling around isn't just what's going on with Justin, but is Selena Gomez somehow at the heart of all of this again? That's a question that has fueled endless fan theories before, but this time, the clues are lined up like dominoes. All it takes is one more post for the whole thing to tip over into full-blown speculation mania. If we zoom out for a moment, The Justin and Selena narrative is one of pop culture's most iconic will they won't they sagas. From the beginning of their romance in 2010 to the final goodbye years later, every twist and turn was chronicled not just by the paparazzi, but by the couple themselves. Their social media exchanges, cryptic tweets, subtweets, and song releases painted a story that was equal parts fairy tale and cautionary tale. They were young, wildly famous, and clearly in love, but they also weathered breakups, reconciliations, and public arguments in front of millions. And when it finally ended, it ended loudly. For many fans, the chapter was closed when Justin married Hailey Baldwin in a whirlwind engagement and wedding in 2018. But love stories, or the public's investment in them, have a way of lingering long after the people in them have moved on. Or at least tried to. Then Never Get Lonesome entered the chat. This wasn't just a sad ballad about feeling lonely. It was about longing for someone far away. Physically, emotionally, maybe even permanently. The release hit days after Selena posted a cozy snapshot of herself with a cat curled up in her lap. 2 days later, Justin was spotted wearing a hoodie and beanie plastered with cat illustrations. Even for those inclined to believe in coincidences, the timing felt almost taunting. The internet, being the internet, immediately spun this into a symbolic exchange, a secret "I see you," between two people who officially have nothing to do with each other anymore. But in the world of celebrity gossip, visual cues are everything, and once you see the connection, you can't unsee it. It's also impossible to ignore the "I-O Eddie" moment. To outsiders, it might have seemed like a throwaway caption, but for those immersed in Selena's current relationship discourse, it was like a flare in the night sky. The "I-O Benny" trend had been bubbling for weeks, with fans joking, sometimes not so jokingly, that they could treat Selena better than her current boyfriend, music producer Benny Blanco. When Justin posted his own twist on it and paired it with a song about cherishing a woman in ways her ex never did, the temperature in the gossip corner of the internet spiked. Was it shade? Was it trolling? Was it a not-so-subtle message aimed at someone who would definitely get the reference? No one knew for sure, but the alignment of timing, trend, and tone was hard to dismiss. The question now is, where does this lead? Are we on the brink of a new Justin Bieber album that draws heavily from his past relationships, draped in nostalgic longing and unspoken confessions? Is this a way of reclaiming control over a narrative that has followed him for over a decade? Or is it simply a man working through his own inner contradictions, who just happens to do it in front of 293 million followers? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain: as long as Justin keeps posting, the theories will keep coming. And as long as the theories keep coming, the ghost of Selena will keep hovering over the pop culture landscape like a shadow that refuses to fade. The thing about the Selena timeline is that it's never really gone away, it's just changed forms. What once lived in paparazzi shots and tabloid headlines has now migrated into the algorithmic chaos of social media, where every frame, filter, and caption gets treated like an encrypted message. The early years were pure teenage pop culture gold. Two young stars at the height of their fame, holding hands at red carpet events, being caught on vacation in tropical paradises, and writing songs that seemed to echo their relationship status at the time. Then came the rough patches, public breakups, emotional Instagram lives, and lyrics that left little doubt about who inspired them. Fans could practically plot their romance on a graph, with spikes of reconciliation and dips of radio silence. When Justin married Hailey in 2018, it was billed as the fresh chapter he needed: stability, commitment, and a partner who had known him before the fame swallowed everything whole. Hailey stepped into the role of his wife with grace, but not without the shadow of his past love looming in the background. Selena, for her part, moved forward too, throwing herself into music, acting, and building an image of strength and independence. But the internet isn't great at letting go, and so every minor overlap, be it a similar lyric, a shared piece of clothing, or a coincidental Instagram post, became proof that the connection still lingered. Fast forward to this year, and the entire cycle seems to have reignited. First, a moody track here, then a suspiciously timed hoodie there. A lyric about not liking the man you are paired with photos of your current wife? That's a PR storm waiting to happen, whether you meant it or not. Never Get Lonesome gets dropped, and suddenly people are side-by-siding its mood with old Selena-era ballads like Nothing Like Us and All That Matters. It's not just nostalgia, it's the idea that he might be speaking in the same emotional language he used years ago. The Benny Blanco factor is particularly interesting here. As a music producer and someone deeply enmeshed in the industry, Benny isn't just Selena's boyfriend, he's part of the creative ecosystem Justin operates in. That makes the possibility of indirect messages even juicier for fans. Is Io Eddie a joke? A nod to the ongoing meme? Or is it a sly acknowledgement of the conversations happening in the fanbase? The beauty and the chaos of pop culture gossip is that we may never get a definitive answer, and that uncertainty is part of the fun. What's undeniable is that Justin's current wave of posting has done something few artists can achieve without a formal album rollout. It has reignited global conversation about his personal life in a way that overshadows almost everything else in pop culture right now. Every new post is an event. Every lyric snippet becomes a headline. And every visual choice, from clothing to filters, gets interpreted like a clue in a treasure hunt. Whether you see it as marketing genius, unconscious oversharing, or just the messy reality of a man still tangled in his own history, the effect is the same. We're all still watching. So what happens next? If Justin drops a new album in the coming months, these posts will become the prologue, the emotional breadcrumb trail that sets the stage for a deeply personal body of work. If he doesn't, then they become something else entirely, a standalone chapter in the ongoing saga of how celebrities communicate in the social media age. A reminder that sometimes the story isn't in the interview, the press release, or the music video. It's in the fleeting moments they choose to share with no context at all. And that brings us to the conclusion, which is less about answers and more about acceptance. We may never know if these songs and posts are about Selena Gomez. We may never get confirmation about whether the cat hoodie was a wink or a coincidence. But what's clear is that Justin Bieber still has the power to set the internet ablaze with nothing more than a lyric and a look. He knows it, we know it, and whether it's intentional or instinctual, it keeps his story alive in the cultural conversation. Maybe that's TH.